So Ryan Garcia goes off on a tangent last week. A lot of people jump on board the bandwagon of get him locked up, get him institutionalized, get the phones taken off of him. And if it's not that, then he's clearly on drugs. That's what the consensus were last week.
What the happens to your voice?
So at the end of the day, I've been screaming for these promos, but I'm not even going to react. At the end of the day, I want to clarify some
Stop
things.
the coke, nigga. It's up your voice.
And we had all the minions doing the work of the elites by calling this stuff out and trying to get him to shut down, because as soon as you start telling the truth, you'll see this sort of encroachment on your life and they want you eradicated. So after this storm had started to calm, Ryan Garcia put out a tweet and said that he wasn't going to comment on anything that he had been talking about, and that he was going to concentrate on the fight with Devin Haney April 20th. That he wasn't going to post anything on social media if it wasn't linked to boxing. Cool, fair enough. That went out the window. That went pear-shaped after about 5 minutes, and he has gone off on everybody and doubled and tripled down, and he has started to sound a lot more cohesive in terms of the message that he's putting out there. There's so much to cover, but he has gone after Logan Paul and KSI and their product Prime. We're going to have a little look at him talking about it on Instagram. We're going to have a little look about the claims that he is making about this drink, and later on we'll have a look at Jake Paul reacting to Ryan Garcia on a live Twitter space last night, and he didn't look too interested in backing his brother or KSI or their product, so we'll have a look at that as well. So let's jump over here. We'll have a little look at Ryan Garcia's rant yesterday on an Instagram live. The guy is jumping from social media to social media, and he keeps on compounding his claims over and over again. If we are to believe that he is taking this to Congress, that's what he said last night, it sounds like he is taking legal action against the company Prime, which is KSI and Logan Paul, and very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Let's have a listen to him.
That they're trying to spin that narrative proves that they're working for Satan, whether they know it or not. So fuck all three of them. Fuck you, Logan. Fuck you, Mike. And I don't give a fuck of what your real name is. KSI, KS Lies. Fuck you. You guys are fucking sick bastards. There's little kids fucking hurting. Fuck all three of you. Fuck you, and fuck you. All three of you guys are sick. And anyways, anybody who drinks Prime is working for Satan, because you're giving them money so they can keep on creating these. You're giving them power. It's sick. Do not give Satan power. Do not go drink Prime. There's horrible chemicals. Prime tastes like straight shit. Prime tastes like straight shit. Anybody who's actually drank that shit tastes like ass. I'd rather drink Coca-Cola than Prime. Prime is the worst shit ever created. It's gonna kill your guys' brains, mess up your guys' liver. It's the most disgusting. How the hell they have no sugar, but it tastes sweet as fuck? That makes no damn sense.
I'm just going to pause it there because I find it hysterical that he referred to him as KS Lies. I think that might be a nickname that would stick with that dude. Again, to the untrained eye, it sounds like he's gone off on some manic episode. But what is he actually saying? So halfway through this rant, we can understand that he's not backing away from the idea of protecting children and working to use his platform to try help children. And I think that 100% has to be commended. What does he mean that Prime is damaging children and it's the work of Satan? So I'm just going to guess that his interpretation of this energy drink Prime, that all the kids seem compounded to go after and buy and drink and have it in your school bag. It's more of a fashion statement. It's like a cult. If you don't have an iPhone, if you're not on TikTok, if you're not on Snapchat, if you're not drinking Prime, then you ain't part of the gang. And I think the likes of a Logan Paul and a KSI have sinisterly targeted children. They understand that algorithm, if you like, better than most people, because that's their fan base. These two boys are making millions, if not billions, on targeting children, using TikTok as a tool to indoctrinate children and make them conform and make them join the cult of Prime. And the slightest little bit of research will tell you that this is targeted towards kids 100%, just even by the color coding on this. It's all about symbolism. It's all about attracting the eye and using the fact that the endorphins are electrified by constantly flicking on TikTok, and you add in a nice colorful drink that everybody must have, that their favorite YouTuber, that their favorite influencer has, that you have to have it. This is bad signs across the board in general, but it gets a lot worse than that. Prime is being sold as a sugar-free coconut and water energy drink, better than Red Bull, better than Gatorade, better than all these drinks, and way healthier, when in fact it's the inversion of that. This thing is an absolute killer, but there's a secret ingredient that they don't want you to know about.
But what they don't tell you, and you don't know unless you read the label, is that it uses sucralose as a sweetener. Sucralose is 600 times sweeter to your tongue than sugar. So do you think your kid will drink more Prime or less Prime compared to a sugar drink? A lot more, because it's a lot sweeter. So drinking a 600 times sweeter drink promotes more sugar intake, and that could impact blood sugar and obesity rates in our children.
600 times more sugar being pumped into your body with a sugar-free drink aimed at kids? That sounds pretty sinister to me. And it was the simplest Google search that I did on this sucralose, and this was the first article that I came across. Sucralose, a common artificial sweetener, may increase cancer risk. And you can go through it here. A study finds that a common artificial sweetener may damage your DNA. The zero-calorie sweetener in question is sucralose, sold under the brand name Splenda, and it is about 600 times sweeter than a tablespoon of sugar. A study found that sucralose may lead to leaky gut lining and increased activity of genes related to the inflammation and cancer. Wow, so it's not too crazy when Ryan Garcia says that this is sinisterly aimed at children and it's not good for them. If we dig just a little bit deeper into this Prime energy drink, we come across headlines like this one. Parents horror as child has cardiac arrest episode after drinking Prime and needs his stomach pumped. Wow, what a sensational headline. Surely this has got to be a mistake, it's got to be hyperbole. Parents of youngsters at Milton Keynes Primary in Newport, Wales were sent a text message warning youngsters had suffered a cardiac arrest over the weekend after drinking Prime. Interesting. A message was sent out by the school's management after an unnamed child had to have their stomach pumped after being rushed to hospital. The message received this morning confirmed an incident took place last weekend, not on school property. The text read, "This morning, a parent reported that a child had a cardiac episode over the weekend after drinking Prime energy drink. The child had to have their stomach pumped. Although better now, the parent wanted to share this with us and reminder of potential harmful effects." That's an interesting headline. What about this headline over here at the BBC? And of course we gotta trust the national broadcaster in Britain, right? The BBC, very authentic and very legitimate news outlets. They're saying that Prime, KSI and Logan Paul's hydration and energy drinks are being banned in schools. And they go on to say that schools are sending out mass text messages to parents across the board saying that this stuff is potentially going to get banned in these schools. Kids are not allowed to have it. And here's one more article that I thought was very interesting in terms of this energy drink that KSI and Logan Paul are making millions if not billions off of. This is from Ireland, coincidentally, which I thought was funny enough. But there was an interesting line in here that I thought, yeah, I can understand where people are coming from in terms of spotting this now. You look at the initial image, it's Prime. Everybody wants it. Everybody must have this drink because KSI and Logan Paul are all about promoting themselves and making money. So that's why all the kids want to get out there and be part of its status symbol. Be part of the cult. This is something that I have taught my kids to be adverse of, where you go in the opposite direction. When everybody has the same haircut, wears the same shoes, plays with the same football, wears the same coat, and now even has to walk around with the same bottle of Prime in their hand, you don't want to be with them little sheep. You got to move over and create your own little circle. So to go through a couple of testimonials here from parents talking about the effects of having to buy €15 bottle of Prime for their child. Otherwise, they're not part of their friend's inner circle and possibly be excommunicated from that circle unless you're a Prime drinker. Imagine who's benefiting from that. These testimonials read that they were driving along with a bottle of Prime in the car and they were getting followed by other families that saw a bottle of Prime in the hands of a child and literally followed a car through the city, pulled up next to them and were like, "Where did you get that? We must have it." Like, this is insanity. This is craziness. Mother of 7, Karina, said that the children are encouraged to get this drink by friends and even by adults. At various different sporting activities, they're actually taught how to make energy drinks, she said. It's part and parcel of teenage life now that you're expected to drink energy drinks. But what scares me now with Prime is now that you see very young kids with it. I've seen toddlers in prams with Prime in their hands. This is crazy, insane. So visualize for a second. If you're a teenager, you must have it, otherwise you can't have a circle or friend. If you're playing on a football team, you're encouraged by the adults to drink energy drinks like Prime. If you're a toddler and you're in a pram and you're being rolled down the street by your parents, I guess it's a status symbol, not only for the parent to see how cool their kids are drinking Prime even though they're barely able to hold the bottle in their hand. You put this alongside the fact that we looked at sucralose, the main contributing factor to this energy drink. 600 times stronger than sugar with a lasting effect of possibly cancer and degenerative gut lining. And you sprinkle in little children having cardiac arrest episodes in British schools because of drinking Prime, and these schools amalgamating together to ban it entirely. And I think that it's justified listening to Ryan Garcia saying that he's going to go after it. And if we jump over here, we'll see that the icing on the cake is that Senator Chuck Schumer, you know, when you have a progressive, left-leaning nut job of a politician, a Democrat lunatic, calling for this thing to be banned, it really must be bad. These progressive fruitcakes only love to see harm come on the populace, and especially the younger end of the populace. So it's gotta be bad if this lunatic is coming out saying, we gotta get this banned. He's bringing it before Congress. He's going to the FDA. This is legit. And this comes after the tiniest amount of Google searches. Go down the rabbit hole yourself. Figure out exactly what the likes of KSI, Logan Paul are trying to sell to your kids. And figure out why it is that your kids must have it. Otherwise, they can be excommunicated from their friend groups. That's how you dig down into the root of this problem. Little bit of information. Ryan Garcia is doing the Lord's work. You can look at it metaphorically or you can look at it in reality. By calling this out, I'm sure there's enough people that are parents that are going to see this, do the same research here, figure out the ingredients, the hidden, sinister, pernicious ingredients that were never told to us by Logan Paul and KSI, and say, okay, my kid isn't drinking this shit anymore. And by virtue of the fact that that is helping young children, that's a moralistic approach and you're doing some sort of good work in the world. So as I said, Ryan Garcia, keep doing what you're doing, keep speaking out. Don't listen to what all the people on the internet say when they come after you and they throw pejoratives at you, trying to get you to be quiet, trying to get you to be silent. Even Jake Paul knows this, and at the back of his mind, he was almost there with you last night during this space. Let's have a look.
Celsius?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm having a Celsius.
Can you get me one too?
Hey, bro, I'll take Celsius over Prime any day. I'm sorry, Jake.
So, yeah, everyone just tries to like compare those two brands, and it's just like, bro, like business is business, bro. Like I want my brother to succeed. I want to succeed.
That's good. Yeah, of course.
Hey, Jake, I'm sorry, bro, but I'm taking down Prime. I'm sorry, bro.
Well, it's gonna be hard to do. It's it's the biggest brand probably in the past.
Yeah,
like,
bro, that's not
growing.
the hardest thing I've done in my life.
Well, I'm staying out of this one. I don't want no smoke with my brother.
So there you have it, Jake Paul kind of holding up his hands saying, listen, Ryan, it's going to be hard to take it down because they've done such a great job burrowing into the minds of young teenagers with this sort of garbage. But I'm going to stay out of it. I want my brother to succeed. He's doing his diplomatic line right there, that's fine. But he's not getting heated at Ryan Garcia, and he's not trying to shut him down for the idea of going after Prime. And I think that says a lot in itself. Let me know if any of this made sense. Maybe hit like, subscribe, share, all that sort of stuff. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.